Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This will get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news tariff costs seem to be having much more impact on US prices than on global trade. But first, US initial jobless claims rose slightly last week to 199,000, but that was slightly lower than seasonal factors would have accounted for. There are now just over 2 million people on these benefits, 100,000 more than the same time last year. However, rising much more were producer prices. They were up 3.3% in July from a year ago, a jump from June's 2.4%, and much higher than the expected 2.5%. This ends a period where these costs eased since February with a notable reversal. The month-on-month rise was outsized, and we make that the largest non-pandemic jump since 2012. This data is having traders rethink their bets on the September 18 US Fed rate review. And in China, they're wrestling, endlessly it seems, with how to staunch the property development sector's bleeding. The latest idea is that Beijing's state-owned enterprises will buy up unsold housing. India's exports rose in July, but their imports jumped much more, so their trade deficit worsened and is much more negative than it was a year ago for the same month. Meanwhile, Standard & Poor's have upgraded the Indian sovereign credit rating to BBB from BBB- and changed the outlook from stable to positive. It said the upgrade was based on economic resilience and sustained fiscal consolidation. They noted the strong growth momentum and said monetary policy was credible now, and added that the impact of Trump's tariffs should be manageable for them. In Australia, their jobless rate eased to 4.2% in July, down from four-year high of 4.3% in June. Employment rose by 24,000 to a record high of 14.6 million. Full-time employment rose by 60,000, while part-time positions fell by 36,000. And global container freight rates fell in a broad shift lower to be down 3% last week from the prior week. Bulk cargo rates were little changed in the past week, but are 20% above year-ago levels. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.28%, up 5 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold will start today at $3,335 an ounce, down $17 from yesterday. But American oil prices have risen $1.50 to be just under $64 a barrel, while the international Brent price is up a bit less at $66.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now just under 59.1 US cents and down 60 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 20 basis points at 91.1 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also down 20 basis points at 50.8 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 66.9 and down 40 basis points from yesterday. You can get more news about the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.